this video, I'm going to provide a summary of the points I have been making throughout this multimodal. In short, the new historicist lens is the idea of analyzing a text through the context in which it was written. Huckleberry Finn was written by Twain in the Reconstruction era, but the novel itself was set in pre-Civil War era. When I used this lens to analyze various quotes that represent some of the decisions Twain made when writing, I was able to further and alter my understanding of the novel. At first glance, when I began reading this text, I felt that the use of the N-word was almost unnecessary, and the way Jim was made out to talk was unacceptable. However, when analyzing through the new historicist lens, I gained a deeper understanding of why Twain wrote the novel that way, and this is due to the time period which he wrote it in. Back then, the N-word was so normalized and had an entirely different meaning than it does today, and Twain could have never predicted that. In addition, the way Jim spoke throughout the novel was also an accurate representation, although possibly exaggerated, of slaves as they lacked education. Today, many people criticize the book for the racial stereotypes it creates, and while this is a valid reaction, using this lens allowed me to better understand why Twain included what he did based on the time period he was writing it in. Despite people's opinions, using this lens has also made me realize Twain shouldn't be so strongly criticized for creating these stereotypes and for being racist, because at this time, Twain was being radical and actually mocking society for the way they treated black people. Twain used the pre-Civil War setting to indirectly mock the current time period he was living in, supposedly the Reconstruction era. Twain was punching up a society because he released a book about the challenges of slavery during a time period in which slavery was meant to be abolished and black people were supposed to be treated equally. By Twain highlighting the cruelty and the lack of morality society had for his character Jim, he punched up at the failure of society in the Reconstruction era and was actually being progressive. But it's also important to note, while Twain was being progressive, he was always doing it within the limits due to the society he lived in. As Jim Crow laws were present and his audience, or America as a whole, had been so accustomed to the ideal behind slavery, a book surrounding the idea of treating black people completely fair, people may have never even read it. While Twain was punching up and being progressive in a way, it is also important to understand he was intentionally including racist ideologies throughout the book for his audience, as that is what readers in his time period would expect and would see as normal.